Hello, good afternoon. My name is Elias Monsha, and I'm coming live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I know that your Impala time is about 18:15. Here in Calgary, we are at 10:15 a.m. So it's morning here, but in Chuempala, it's 18:15. It's a very difficult time, I know, for Chuempala because I believe that most of our people now are either just returning back home from work or they are still at work, particularly those like my family who are marketeers. We usually stay on until 18 or 19 hours to make sure that we get the last customers that are coming along. Anyway, I'm going to let you share this as much as possible, please, because after the by-elections yesterday, I got all these questions about when are you going to say something about the by-elections? And of course, some people actually sincerely believe that I'm UPND, and if the party performs a certain way in a by-election, I'm supposed to give whatever they think, that I'm supposed to give an opinion about it. No, I remain non-partisan. There is only one thing that is very clear as far as I'm concerned. The fact that our economy has been greatly mismanaged, and the current government is a government of thieves. They steal from the poor of our people. And as a result, I've been very clear about the fact that in the elections next year, President Edgar C. Lungu, I call him Dr. C over C, should not be elected. I've been very clear about that. But of course, some have thought and believed that when I say that we should not elect President Lungu, therefore I'm UPND. So I wish you had thought that I was any other. Why not MMD? Why not NDC, right? But anyway, that is secondary. And so we are going to address a few matters incidental to the foregoing. Now, that is just legalese, which means nothing, okay? So I'm going to let you share as much as possible. And if you have a quick question, please do so. The reason why I am coming very early today, usually I come at about 21 hours Chuempala time, it's because I've got to be in court this afternoon. And so I just wanted to ensure that we deal with this matter before I actually go to court. All right. So around 21 hours Chuempala time, I'll be in court here in Alberta. So before that, let us just answer a few questions that you may have about the by-elections. I also have on the program today, Mr. Jerome Kanika. Now, Mr. Jerome Kanika is the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia. So it's an association, and I think I'll let Mr. Kanika to say a little bit about what he does. But his organization, it's an association of pharmaceutical professionals, right? Pharmacists, pharmaceutical assistants, and all those. It's a professional association. So they are the ones that did let us know that the government of the Republic of Zambia had procured drugs that were extremely dangerous to our people. You know, they hired a certain company known as Honeybee, and Honeybee supplied Panadol, which did not meet the specifications. So Mr. Jerome Kanika's organization, it's the one that raised the alarm and said Honeybee had supplied substandard medicines. You see, but what happened with Honeybee is not an isolated incident. This is very important. It is a pattern of mismanagement from the Patriotic Front government. That is where the issue is. So, you see, mistakes can be made. Companies or industries can make mistakes here and there, but what happened with Honeybee is not a small, isolated incident mistake. No, it is a pattern of corruption, and that is the pattern of corruption that we are fighting against. It's a pattern of corruption that we are saying and alerting our people that the Patriotic Front government, before they think about your health, they think about themselves. They think about their own bank accounts. They think about their own pockets. And so their priority is not to serve the people of Zambia. The priority of the Patriotic Front government is to steal. And so Honeybee supplies substandard drugs, and guess what happened to the money? They pocketed it. So instead of buying real medicine, they get a contract. Instead of buying real Panadol, they did not buy real Panadol. They went and bought substandard medication and supplied it. What happened to that Panadol is exactly what happens to all the contracts that the Patriotic Front works on, be it roads. That's why when you look at the Patriotic Front roads, you're going to see that as soon as they are making a road, by the time that they just reach the middle, before they even finish the project, where they started from, you're going to see boreholes starting to appear. And so that is the problem. That is the reason why you're going to see that that's what they do. That's not new. That is the pattern of the Patriotic Front. They steal from contracts. They're trying to get their hands on as many contracts as possible. Well, you can say that roads perhaps are not as immediately dangerous, but look at this Panadol. They bought substandard Panadol and supplied it so that the people, the poor of Zambia, are exposed to diseases and to a cure that is not a cure. It is these things that are making us speak to our people that this Patriotic Front government, it is a dangerous government because they do not care for the people of Zambia. So in its place, you need to find an alternative to the Patriotic Front. That is what we say. Very important. An alternative to the Patriotic Front. Okay? An alternative to the Patriotic Front. So that is what happened. And so what happens with Panadol again? It happens all across the board. All these projects that the president is commissioning, you know what is happening? They are all just like this Honeybee Panadol. It's Honeybee Panadol. The projects in Lufonyama, Honeybee Panadol. The road network to Livingstone, Honeybee Panadol. Everything is Honeybee Panadol. The flyover bridges, it's all Honeybee, It is all confusion. It is all substandard things. And so they've done a lot of substandard things across the country. And then they take a picture and then they post it and say that, look at how much work we are doing. No. When you just scratch the surface of the certain buildings that they are claiming that they are building, you're going to find that they are just like the Honeybee Panadol they supplied to our people. That's why the people of Zambia must be awake. They need to see what is going on. Okay? So all this unprecedented infrastructure development is actually nothing than pictures. That's all it is. It is buildings that are going to collapse within days. It is roads that have boreholes in them, potholes and boreholes. It is complete mismanagement of an entire economy. That is the reason why today $1 is 20 kwacha. That's the whole reason. Okay, so that is a little bit about the things that are going on now. When I say that we must change this government, I'm not telling you that therefore I belong to any political party. I'm non-partisan completely. There is only one party that I can never associate myself with. That is the Patriotic Front. Otherwise, I'm non-partisan. I am one of the most independent minds you will find. Extremely independent. I'm not paid by any political party. I have no allegiance to any political party. If and when that time comes for me to be associated with any political party, you will know. If you, Imwe, you want me to be associated with any political party, who am I to say no? But now I'm not aligned with any political party. The only political party I'm aligned with are the people of Zambia, the people of Luapula province, the people of Northern Muchinga, The people of Eastern Province, the people of Southern Province, Western Province, Copperbelt Province, Central Province, Lusaka Province, those are Northwestern Province, Bakwet, those are the people that I am aligned with. Okay, against the Patriotic Front, because the Patriotic Front claims that it is the government of the people. No, it is the government of themselves. That's why they're supplying all these substandard drugs so that they pocket the change. They are looking to their own interest. They're not looking for the interest of our people. That is all that I'm about. Okay, so if you are thinking about me aligning myself with a political party, there is only one group that I align myself with. It is the people of Zambia. That's it. The people of Zambia. Abena Zambia. That's all. And the people of Chiwempala and Milenge and Chipata. That's all. Okay? So non-partisan. All right? Any questions? Mary Zulu, HH is an unsellable brand, and UPND, let them find a new leader. 2021, if there is no change. Okay, so this is Mary Zulu's opinion. Now, do you want to know my opinion about it? I think if you are PF and if you are PF and you have 2021 coming, and you want to win this election, you don't want HH, right? HH is the biggest threat to the Patriotic Front at the moment. So I get surprised at some people who say that the UPND must change HH. If you are President Lungu and you want a candidate that you can easily dominate, that candidate is not HH. If UPND removed HH today, whoever you replace HH with, it means PF wins. The reason why the PF do not like HH, it's because HH is a threat to the Patriotic Front. Simple common sense. Why do you think the Patriotic Front do not like HH? Why do you think the Patriotic Front leaders do not like HH? It's because he's a non-entity. Non-entity. HH is a threat to the Patriotic Front. So, why is HH a threat to the Patriotic Front? One, why is HH a threat to the Patriotic Front? Because in 2016, the difference after they counted the votes between HH and President Lungu was 100,000 votes. Therefore, 100,000 votes. Okay? So iyi idea yako ati HH na President Lungu pali basana gap ikulu sana. It's false. There isn't a very huge gap between President Lungu and HH. The gap was 100,000. Now, when you say 100,000, you are not accounting for some irregularities that happened in Lusaka. I want you to follow me very well. Now, I'm one of those who have said that President Lungu won the 2016 elections. As soon as those elections were done, I in fact, I'm the one who computed the numbers, and on my website, you can go there. We computed the numbers and we made a trend, and we predicted that Lungu had won the 2016 elections. But there were some irregularities in Lusaka, giving the impression that HH closed the gap in Lusaka far much more than the 100,000 reflects. Anyway, all that is useless at the moment. But it is important. The UPND cannot make the mistake of even thinking that it can remove HH and perform well against President Lungu. No. Common sense. If you tabale mfuaira ba Lungu, kamwabepsha balungu mwayabepsha tibushe ni nani mulefu okuyiminina nankwe kuti bamyeba not HH echo kanshi ba UPND inende myeba coffee. I'm just advising you, I'm not a UPND. I'm extremely independent. I'm one of the most independent Facebookers you ever come across. Continue with HH. That's it. Right? No, but there are some people who hate HH. No, but that's why, particularly mwebe na chipata na mweba bemba nandi. Therefore, twingire mu brain. Ain. Nga chinshi chakosa pakupata HH. Kutumwasanga kwa kwena kwali wako na ka tribalism. Kwali wako na ka tribalism. Kwali wako ka tribalism against not all tribes, but against just the Tongas. We need to interrogate our biases against the Tonga speaking people, particularly the bias that we tend to project on Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Right? That could be the issue. But the thing that is keeping President Lungu awake at night, it's that 100,000 gap between HH and him from 2016. Very important. I will now move to the next issue. The next issue is the urban votes, Lusaka and Copperbelt. This election is going to be determined primarily by Lusaka and the Copperbelt. Lusaka and Copperbelt, very important. Lusaka and Copperbelt. Now, with 100,000 votes, with 100,000 gap, assuming the numbers from 2016, with 100,000 gap, what it means is if HH performs just 10% better in Lusaka and Copperbelt than he did in 2016, he wins. Assuming that the East and the West numbers remain constant. It means HH's greatest challenge right now is to push the numbers at least 10% better than 2016 on the Copperbelt and Lusaka. He wins. That is where the issue is. That is where the battle is at the moment. All right? Of course, they tried to push the battle among Bemba-speaking areas, and they're trying hard. And I commend the UPND. They're trying hard. Right? But everybody knows that the battle is Lusaka and the Copperbelt. Epadidiashi, Lusaka and the Copperbelt. So if I were to advise the UPND, what would they do? Continue doing what you are doing in Bemba areas and continue doing what you are doing on the Copperbelt and Lusaka. That's it. The other thing is very important. How did Michael Sata win? This idea of saying that the UPND must only be faithful to old members of the UPND cannot win an election. Nobody wins an election like that. You can't bring change in Zambia by just saying that we are going to just listen to the old UPND members. I'm sorry. That is not a winning, that is not a winning strategy. What do you do with a winning strategy? Learn from Michael Sata, learn from Frederick Chiluba. Okay? What is the winning strategy? Here it is. You separate Patriotic Front leaders from cadres. Very important. You separate them. They're not the same. People who support the Patriotic Front are different from the leaders of the Patriotic Front. You do not collapse them into one category. No, no, no. When you do that, you are going to bring, you can't win when you are thinking like that. The people of Zambia are not the leaders of Zambia. So, even Kubabemba that are voting for Lungu, you do not go and for example, give the impression that they are the same as Lungu. They are not, okay? They are like sheep, lost sheep. So your strategy is to say you are lost ship. There is still more room in the UPND, or there is still more room in the opposition. That is a strategy that works. So if there is a by-election in Lukashya, should the UPND only adopt a candidate who has been faithful with the UPND from 2000? No. The reason is even members of the Patriotic Front in Lukashya should be presumed to be members of the UPND. That is how SATA won. When SATA was being asked to say, why are you bringing in these MMD members in 2006, 2008, and 2011, SATA was asked that question about MMD. This is what he said. He said, if we party is cards, so once abo mulela that my members were MMD, my members vesu. You see how that changes the narrative? It changes the narrative in the sense that it tells you that you are a bigger house. Even those people that have registered as members of PF, they're still your supporters. That's how you win. So was there a problem with UPND adopting that big mule? No. Well, even SATA, even PF itself, it adopts people that are not on the ground. George Sanga, or you know, in a lawyer, or in a Lukashya, was he on the ground in Lukashya? Who was the most popular of the 5 that the district had adopted, had proposed in Lukashya? It was Big Mule. Big Mule Big Mule was the most popular candidate from the structures in Lukashya. It was Big Mule for the PF. Elo bamutea baletera papa George Sanga. But George Sanga was not on the ground in Lukashya. Bekala kulusaka. Kulia ni kumushiku wabo. Baile fiat na muku imini na kuisa kumushiku mwesu. Elo baba chita adopt. So if you are thinking iyo ine logic ya kwebati kano muntu uli popular on the ground, the one who was popular on the ground, it was Big Mule. From the structures. If the PF wanted to follow that logic, gani Big Mule bachtre adopt. So you cannot tell UPND, no, UPND should not have adopted Big Mule. They did the correct thing and they need to begin casting the tent wide. That is what it means. If you are saying that the UPND is not going to depend on other members, who is going to elect it? But PF members are also Zambians. If you are trying to become president, tarikuya mukuchita campaign kuvena Zambia. Bambiniva UPND, bambiniva PF, bambiniva MMD, Bambia are unaffiliated. They are all Zambians. So you go to a campaign to them and you go to ask for their votes, bonse, equally. Nerio wadishwa tabaku support publicly. Iwe publicly kula beba timumulima members and that is how a person wins. So number imweba UPND mlefwaya to say that where is this panic coming from? You are on the right trajectory. You are maintaining your 2016 numbers in Bemba areas. You've started moving the notch in urban areas upwards. Nombalelo mwambeko, you lose hope at yom kwai, you've got nowhere to go. Inshiri UPND yo ndem yeba kofie. So nomba pa kuwekera mu Lukashya n'okubatotera sana okubeba talabane nkamibwerera nga niwe bweche chief yakuchita kuwekera mu Lukashya ero wabeba timwe muli bantu bandi mwe evya chitika natulabeko but nkamibwerera na kaidi na futi wayabeba abena Lukashya na abena Mwansabombwe nabo bene wabendera wayabeba efyo chaba ekuteka ekufwa yokuteka ine that's it. It's just a piece of advice. Number of UPND panicking, Bambi, my UPND members panicking. No, took away no. Open it wide. Nokuba mwena mwavena kasama avena Lukashya mweva mwena moyo Just go and talk to them again. Eventually, Akantu, it will be Lusaka and the Copper Belt. All right, that's it. This thing of saying no, it's just the grassroots, whatever it is. No, sometimes it's the grassroots, sometimes it's whatever, sometimes it's several pieces. It's several pieces. And so if the party decides to adopt a certain person, all right, you just go with it. Even PF itself, it does not adopt the most popular on the ground. Never. Which candidates were in 2011? In 2001, what happened? In 2006. In Luapula province, SATA fielded abantu bakwa Chiluba in 2006 in Luapula. The same people. So SATA would say Chiluba was corrupt, Chiluba shan. Elwaya bula abantu bakwa Chiluba. Eba abama candidates bakwa Luapula. Efe chadi. Namulaba. So if you're over to Zambia, we have, in Zambia, let me tell you, we do not have ideological differences among political parties. There isn't. There is no ideological difference between the UPND and the Patriotic Front and the MMD. There isn't. So this idea of saying that Big Mule is PF, Big Mule is PF for what? He can be PF today, he becomes UPND tomorrow, he becomes MMD tomorrow. These parties are just labels. That's it. So when you are becoming too rigid about the fact that Big Mule became UPND within a day, so what? Ichikankala kofumyapo babaleiba. The only political party iyo abena Zambia tabafwaya niba kabwalala epela andaba ngopali inonshita nibani tadi nibani abango akabwalala teba PF eba kabwalala baleiba. Number, you want to govern this country, you want to win an election. El Mwambo kuchita panic because your party adopted a PF person. No, relax. What about social media? What about social media? Social media is extremely powerful. I will be never let me at social media does not determine. They are on social media. We started social media I started this page, Elias Musha page, August 2009. I was very sympathetic to Rupiah Banda. In 2011, from 2009 to about 2011, when Rupiah Banda was president, the most active political commentators on Facebook from 2009 to 2011, it was PF members. Mibukishe, Tina Banda and her group of Zambian Zambian People's Pact. Tina Banda, they were extremely active on Facebook. And others, they were active on Facebook. Facebook was a tool they used to go on the ground and organize. It was Facebook. If from 2009, Mwale to Shobat, we were just Facebook lawyers, Facebook commentators, Facebook finch. In 2011, after President Sata became president, he started ruling the country via Facebook. ZNBC was quoting the president from his Facebook page. So at social media is important, and that's why you are all on social media, and it is a very important organizing tool. Very, very important. And it is doing what it needs to do. So that you're just on social media, you're just time wasters. The reason is organizing through social media is important. And if HH needs to drive up some numbers in urban areas, he has got a very good social media strategy. That's it. Because if you want the young electorate born after the year 2000, and you want the urban electorate, you've got to go big on social media. Right? So social media, it's a correct strategy. So if I were to say anything, what would I say is the problem with the UPND? I think they're doing good. They are on the right trajectory. They are trying to drive up the numbers, and I wouldn't in any way suggest that they need to change HH now. There is another thing, the alliance. Why is an alliance with the NDC important? Why is the alliance with NDC important? It is important not because of Bemba areas. No, it is important because of urban areas, particularly the Copper Belt. That's where now you bring in Chimbakambwili. Now, his role, Chimbakambwili's role is not to try and push a lot of numbers in Kasama, in Lukashya, or in Mwansabombwe, or any of those areas. No. It is to push some numbers on the Copper Belt. That's it. It's give and take. No kumfwana ichikankala muzambia ichirenga zambia okukana chita develop again wungo epela. It's not all these ideological tuition wungo ukuiba efilipo ama fundamentals yaba. You see, that's why we were a $3 billion economy in 1990. Okay, Chiluba privatized, money started economy yambokuni 9. In 2000, Abena Mwanawasa managed to have the Jubilee. Our debt was forgiven. 2000, we started climbing up. We reached 20 billion. So we're about $21 billion economy. From 3 billion in 1990, we were rising. And what makes a difference, what made a difference, particularly after the year 2000, was that we had in power a government that it was not perfect, but it was very clear about large-scale corruption. And then debt forgiveness. That is the reason why we kept that trajectory up. The major difference after 2011 was that when Michael Sata became president, unfortunately, he was sick. He wasn't in charge. Others were in charge. So they went to over borrow. They went on rampage and started stealing. And that is what is happening at the moment. Stealing. So what is going to happen shortly, we are likely to begin falling. Now, Nama policies yabasi, because Vasiva, Dr. Sivena wants to go back to the Kaunda era. That's a very, very big mistake. So our economy is likely to begin stagnating at 20 billion, which is quite unfortunate. Right? So if UPND wants to win, it's a party of everybody. If HH wants to win, he must open his heart to everybody. That's it. Including PF supporters. PF supporters. That's why I changed my tenor as far as I'm concerned when I'm addressing you. It's Zambians. I have no quarrels against PF supporters. The only quarrel I have is against Basi. It's not PF supporters. PF supporters. We are just struggling and trying to make our ends meet. That's it. Number, PF supporters. No, you are Zambians. Even if you are a PF supporter, you put a line in the sand. Auti yokwena intungulu shishesu shaiba ubungo wachiramu. Nangu kwena usapota PF apapena kuchinja wasapota kobambi. Ever chifire chava. So should UPND panic? No. Should UPND listen to PF imwe? Kutimwa ya mukumfwa umuntu. PF. They want to win next election. Zero basa mebati yo mukawina imwenga mafumia po FHH. Na imumwa umfwira. President Lungu tells you at yo muka mafumia po HH. Ero mukapita. Na imumwa umfwira. Ama. Mwa na imwete kanju HH fetu mafumia po kwisa. Kupanga alliance HH na Chimbakambwira liranda kaloko bati kwena ine kuti na musupporta HH pantu kweta ma numbers shanshan ero kale atampa efyo Chimbakambwira liranda ate HH kale atampa iyo kuti aba president na ine na benkonkani yakwe alliance indemo Nishi alliance ifuaikila. Alliance ilafuaikwa pa kwe bati nomba. Mwachita consolidate to against as opposition. Epe. Kumalawi kumulelu mbati yo kumalawi kwa li alliance. Malawi did not start with an alliance. If they went the three of them, ulia alipo. Nina anuwa alipo. Oyukateka wako Malawi bachite defeat. He would have won. He lost because in the first round, awina. Umlando wako bati Silos Chirima na Reverend Dr. Chakwera, they were candidates. So 3 main candidates. Awina would be president. Na mulaba fiyeshi na jachita skip. Because nde tontonga nyefya kuya kukota. Achita awina. Would awina. If in the second round, ngabai the 3 of them, ngali wina na kaidi. So number, you need to come together because namkwata an agenda. That is why an alliance is needed. Number tekuya mkulanda tiyo mkwai tupange alliance pantu abababi ababasuma abashani ababadi part of this nachipwa. When you are forming an alliance nishmwakwata koka can you a fresh mind, a fresh president. Mwakwata ko fresh ideas. Chap. That's how you create an alliance. Na mambolande vet yo mweka fye mukaya chitefe fine na sata wine alipangire alliance. Echo mulabira. Michael Sata had an alliance with some MMD members. Elo nombasa pangana alliance na balozi. Mwebo tumiebe. Wabale ngere Michael Sata okuina mu 2011. Beka mibepa bofia it was Lusaka and Copper Belt. Balozi Michael Sata. Ngate balozi ngata winine mwebo. Nga winine kwezi. So tuma alliances akaka alliance. So there is no other way here. Ama opposition bafire bayisapa mo. Na tumfuate ba MMD number 13 dande sana pali ba Nevas Mumba. Inshallah pali ba Nevas. But ama opposition kuisapa mo kaidi mwamfano ko batawo kwena na chibe fyo fine. Na bu minister na bwena busuma. You come together. No matter kuleto mulomo ati yo UPND cannot. UPND party at koite only difference was 100,000. Eno nomba mwambe kwa ati yo tamlefoya nga chinshi tamlefoya. Mgwai. Honorable Lily Mutams. Epo muli? Honorable Lily. Honorable Lily. Jerome Kanigana vota walipo. Okay. Aleni, so many comments. Tuvule tuwapo pan tunomba tuvule tuwaya. Tuvule tuwaya kote. Even if urban areas, some structures are weak, what more rural areas where PF is strong? Do these videos more. Yeah, we've been doing this. We've been doing this since 2009. Terero tuwatampa. So imwe monakona kalimo munshawa munjero watampa lero. Ala, page 2009. Tulanda pofie. Na lero di. Dimbi tu join efyaini. Tuingire mofie. Ma politics Yo. Inshita ikafika. Nga mwanjita amuti munsha nomba nobe inshita yakwana. Isa. Nomba inite tinjise fie mpuluwa adinaiza mkujoina. No. David Chava. They didn't win because you have to remember this was a tribal campaign in Mwansabombwe. Yeah, it's a tribal campaign, of course. It's a tribal campaign. They are natural born losers. HH is a product of tribalism. Okay. Chisanga Shamatete. This is the issue. If HH is a product of tribalism, you would then assume Kobati, the PF are happy that is a weak candidate. No. President Lungu does not want HH. President Lungu fears HH a lot. A lot. Because he knows that HH is the biggest threat. If HH is not a big threat, why does the Patriotic Front panic? Why does President Lungu panic? Common sense. Common sense. Epela, common sense. Why are they panicking about the HH Kambwiri combination? Kambwiri in court all the time. At Nisha Tiom Gwaiwali Forger. Kambwiri at Wali Forger ni shwaire mkupanga company. Waliza Forger. So Mulando yo. I think what is the other problem? Ati Kambwiri walandira ati mbwa shakuchawama. Imbwa shakuchawama. Kambwiri alanda ati mbwa shakuchawama baikata. Ala mwevo. Kambwiri. Imbwa shakuchawama baikata. Imbwa. Kuli abali chiranda tiyo lungu tatu kanapo mwevo. Lungu bali kukopa beoti ni mairodidia. Valandire muchilamba. Nama ndefu wa mungu onke bwenu. Mwanfaini. Bakabwa. Kabwa. Ichilamba nechi na chikaonde fiali pala nako sana. Kaonde lamba. Namba mumfwe. Bakabwa. Ili varelanda pali HH balungu. Valandire ati. Kabwa. Lala. Kabwa. Lala. Okuita HH achani ati nimbwa. Balungu ilo vale chita campaign. Vaishirelanda pali Sylvia Maseboko. Vati icho chinecho nshamu chita. Echo amfuaira. Icho chinecho nshamu chita. Echo amfuaira. Efe balungu valandire pali Sylvia Maseboko. Lelo mulanda ati yo lungu tatukana. Mkwai tuila fiengo muntu inecho nshifua ya lu fiengo kana mwana mwa fienga lungu ndalanda njebelao kwena pa mwa fienga yo fia ku Rwanda filia na adisa landa jebele mulemu fienga fie lungu fia ku Rwanda mulemu fienga fia kuisa fia ku Rwanda na adisa landa njebele no mulemu fienga uli problem ku Rwanda ni Kagame te lungu iyo na adisa mulandirako yo lungu wako Malawi njebele iyo mkwai ba lungu nangu fye balepa ulya musango bena petaoke ndabalandirako iyo lungu nishi ishina lyakwe niri neri njebele fye fya bupuba mulekeni ndamulandirako lungu nero iyo lungu take millennium 2021 namulandirako njebele iyo ifunde lilipo lyako take millennium 2021 namulandirako nomba ili mulenye antirira HH njikale tondolo nilanda po ati yo mkwaya HH ali atukana alenga ala bonsa batukana ba nisho niyo abatukana obwingi nechibemba chine chansele insosero jonse cha chibemba ninsere na chitimukulu wino kumulumba ninsere na mwata kazembe ngature mulumba ninsere Emfu mshesu fueba ushina fuebe ninsere. Nomba lelo bantu ayalanda ati katuishuko chikamba ilelanda ati yo mkwai watukana sana mwamona lupato echo nde niebe lati mwe lupato lo elo mtiri ngena bantu insere kwena jingi epo shaba embonse mwakula bekata tuyu walanda ati chikamba mwaikata abena chiwempa loko na kulire neko chikamba yali kwana kalimo greeting chikamba na lero line chingola high school ni chikamba no mwakula bekata bonza pandu wanata chikamba eve bakopa kanji ni jiba umfure feche charanda fira bebere awe apita kanji muntu wesoyo pandu walanda ati chikamba so fyonze veve akubati yo shani yo mkwai mwa mpatafye elonga mwa mpatafye nishi te wina Kristo pantu kwena te chupa te fyo muntu ati yo pantu mutonga iyo te wina Kristo wo elo vebene fuebena Zambia you can't tell Zambians can't tell each other apart kano waipushati wori mutundu nshako evo muntu elo waishi bat kanshi muli baushi Okay. If we should at least castecha mulandu wa bwipi. If we wish kwena mwandi. Nomba ngalakutsira ni nawa. Bululu wandi nawa na nkomwipi. Ngati wafusafu myako vyeshina lyabu nawa. Awe kuti abafi mwina lwapula bwino. Kana wamwipishat nawa nga wamfuishine lwa atoyo mulozi. Bantu abaloza bengi babafi abalepako. So we can't even tell each other apart in Zambia. We can't. Kula baina bengi apapena apa kula babe pisha bengi ati munjoli mutondonshi because you can't tell. Kano limbi na imi nina wamona ko ka haitelo wa mona okay akaka haita kapala ko kubena ngumbu abepi elo wapanga ko ka idea, but you can't know. And in fact our popular thing of Bakwetu, it also confuses Bakwetu. Bakwetu is northwestern and perhaps western abalozi nabakaonde Bakwetu. So tetu ishiwe noma icho mwako sera popali in tribalism. Mero ko bati yo ati batundu fibeka bachita tribalism. Na imwebe mba no tribalism. Echo mwapati echo mwebabemba mwapatira echeche. Pantu ifi mulanda tafipanga sense. Yo shani aliwina shani hao mkwai. Muntu weno. Mwina Zambia. Na kwata ko tuma ideas tumu arera ndati ichirengero ko bade 20 kwacha ibi ungo baleiba ebarera namba barechita tima na chishimba kambwiri ukwe bati bafumyepo baba mwankole baba fumyepo ba mwankole ero ko bati ba mwankole it's ordinary members no ba mwankole it's kateka basi naba nabo ebaleiba na hani bine ebaibire Nama contracts yonse ebareiba. No tubare bepereksha tutuma infrastructure development na tutu ine ebareiba. Ebareiba. Leaving you as Zambian suffering. Alen. Mweneti Moshani, keke.
Murishani.
Bueno. Aleni, direct.
Muive wino.
Tamui pekeni, Ala mweba nandi nga mwaisa pamulabasa, no posha, kuingira fye straight to the point. So kuingira straight to the point. Jerome Taripo. Badiri tamuleisa. Tribalism can only be stopped by ababembas. They see themselves superior. Mwandin mwababemba mulore keshe. Yeah. Anyway, if you wanted ukumfwa my opinion, this is my opinion, okay? So, God bless our country. Let us continue. We should have talked about Bill 10. We were supposed to start a segment of Bill 10 in counter 7 languages, but I've got to push that to next week. So what will happen with Bill 10 is I'm going to be addressing Bill 10, discussing it next week, and then I'm going to have a live translator into counter 7 languages, into Luvale, into Kaonde, into Bemba, into Nyanja, into Lozi, into Tonga, and into Lunda. Seven languages. So I'm going to have a translator, and the goal is to ensure that we take this as content for our people in the villages, so that they can at least have an idea of what is going on with Bill 10. Okay? Thank you very much. We've done about 50 minutes. God bless you, and God bless our country. All right? Thank you. If you are able to, please like our YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have reached 1,000 likes. We need more, obviously. Okay? Thank you very much. God bless you.